Every once in a while, a game quietly appears on the horizon. No flashy hype cycle, no over-the-top trailers, and still manages to make you stop and pay attention. Echoes of the End is one of those games, a deeply cinematic, narrative-driven adventure that trades bombast for emotional weight. It's the debut project from a small Icelandic studio. It's being built entirely on Unreal Engine 5, and it's focused on one single thing, telling a powerful story in a richly imagined world. In this video, we're diving deep into everything we know so far, from the world and lore to gameplay details, visual tech, and what makes this game stand out from the rest of the fantasy crowd. So what exactly is Echoes of the End? It's a third-person, single-player, narrative-focused action-adventure being developed by Myrkur Games, a new studio based in Reykjavik. The project is published under Prime Matter, Koch Media's now restructured premium label. While that might raise some eyebrows considering Prime Matter's mixed track record, what's been shown so far is incredibly promising. At its core, it's not an open-world sandbox or a live service game. Echoes is more in line with the DNA of games like Hellblade or God of War. Tight, personal, and character-driven, with a clear beginning and an end. It's the story of Rune, a warrior with supernatural powers, who has walked away from a life of violence and is now searching for meaning and identity in a fractured world. The tone, it's serious, introspective, and emotional, less epic fantasy and more grounded myth. From what we know, the game takes place in a fully original fantasy universe, but not the kind you're used to. There are no elves, no dwarves, no dragons. Instead, the world of Echoes feels distinctly Nordic-inspired, but it's not in a Viking and Meadhalls way, more in a quiet, haunting, and atmospheric sense. The game centers on Rune, a former soldier who possesses a unique supernatural ability, one that allows her to unmake or deconstruct matter at will. It's not magic in the flashy fireball sense, it's something far more subtle and personal. This ability ties into the game's deeper themes. What happens when power becomes a burden, and what it means to walk away from violence when that violence has defined your identity. Myrkur Games has said that the world will be rich in culture and history, with an emphasis on environmental storytelling, symbolism, and political tension. Based on the concept footage, expect cold landscapes, stone cities and ancient ruins, and nature reclaiming the remnants of war, all presented with a cinematic clarity. In terms of gameplay, this isn't a systems-heavy RPG. You won't be managing gear, stats, or juggling combat builds. Instead, Echo seems to focus on narrative immersion, light exploration, and contextual interaction. From the few official clips and concept videos, it looks like the game will feature third-person traversal with cinematic camera angles, reaching dialogue or choices based on narrative beats, and potentially light ability-driven combat. That hasn't been confirmed in detail. What is very clear though is that Echoes leans heavily into environmental interaction, emotionally driven sequences, and near HUD-less interface, similar to Hellblade or A Plague Tale. In short, if you're looking for a loot grind or a deep combat system, this probably isn't the game for you, but if you value mood, storytelling, and character, this might be a hidden gem. So what separates Echoes of the End from the crowd isn't just the narrative focus, it's the ambition behind how it's being made. First off, the visuals. The game is being built entirely on Unreal Engine 5, and early footage shows of lush environments, incredible lighting, and highly expressive facial animations. Rune's character model alone is more detailed than what we've seen in some full-price AAA games. But more than graphics, what really stands out is the tone. The game looks deliberate, quiet, and introspective. It's not trying to sell you on 500 hours of content, it's trying to give you something memorable in 10 to 15 hours. And for a debut project from a small team in Iceland, that's pretty bold. You can feel the influence on titles like Control, Senua's Saga, and The Witcher 2, and how the world is presented, cinematic but tightly directed. And while uncertainty remains, we've now seen a lot of gameplay of it. It gives us a much better sense of how it's gonna feel. The demo shows early chapters of the story introducing Rin and Abram, the setting, enemy encounters, traversal, and ability-driven combat sequences woven into cinematic scenes. Combat is a fast-paced blend of magic and melee, where Rin uses gravity manipulations and illusions alongside swordplay. Boss encounters and traversal challenges are also hinted as chapters progress. Still, some viewers have raised concern. On Reddit, one viewer wrote, "Combat does not feel weighty, animation looks really wonky, movement looks sticky, and weirdly dated, even if the graphics suggest the contrary." Some other people thought it looks okay, kinda rough so far, looks exactly like God of War, even they lift the boulder so the other cars can pass under. At its best, Echoes of the End delivers cinematic, ability-based encounters with impressive visuals and emotional stakes. At its worst, for some, Animation, polish and transitions between exploratory and combat sequences still feel inconsistent. I still think you should keep an eye on this one though. Echoes of the End feels like it's trying to do something different, and in today's gaming landscape that's rare. It's not following trends, it's not trying to become the next big franchise, it's trying to tell one story really well. If you're someone who loved the emotional journey of Senua's Sacrifice, the story first focus of A Plague Tale, or even the atmosphere of Control, this might hit the same chord. We don't get many high-fidelity fantasy games that prioritize storytelling over spectacle, and while the marketing may be quiet now, I wouldn't be surprised if Echoes of the End turns out to be one of the most talked about narrative games when it finally launches. And the wait is almost over. Echoes of the End launches on August 12, 2025. Every major platform is covered, and it's confirmed as a current-gen only title, no legacy hardware support. That makes sense given it's built from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, aiming for cinematic visuals and immersive performance. Whether you're on PC, PlayStation or Xbox, now's the time to hit that wishlist. Echoes of the End is arriving August 12th. I'll be keeping an eye on this one and try it out myself. What do you think? Are you into this kind of quiet story-focused adventure, or do you need to see more before getting excited? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it. For more deep dives into upcoming games, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell. Thanks for watching, I'll see you on the next one.